Hi, I'm Greg Kasavin, and I'm here to take you on GameSpot's video tour of Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness, Lara Croft's latest adventure, and one that is fraught with peril and a few somewhat noticeable problems. Nevertheless, this latest chapter is going to be irresistible for those who just want to know what's going to happen to Lara Croft next. This latest installment of Tomb Raider has been billed as kind of a darker turn for the series. It's kind of a bit more violent and a bit more macabre or something like that, and Lara Croft can be seen with, lots of black eye makeup, so she kind of looks a little more gothic, and throughout the game there are rumors of this serial killer stalking France and then Germany, so the game's definitely got an edge to it. It takes place in some modern environments, as well as kind of the more traditional Indiana Jones style Tomb Raider locations, ancient crypts and tombs and things like that. And Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness also allows Lara to perform a number of new moves that she's never been able to do before. How useful these are is questionable, but she's still got some new tricks up her sleeve. The story begins with Lara engaged in sort of a verbal argument with her mentor, Werner von Croy. They kind of get pretty mad at each other on kind of a dark and stormy night in Paris, and something happens, and basically Von Croy winds up dead. A shot rings off, and the next thing Lara knows is she's standing over his body, and she is as surprised as we are to find her mentor dead, and the cops show up. She's the only one at the scene, and all she can do is flee. So that's really where the game begins. You're running from the feds. Basically, you're assuming that Lara didn't do it, and she's trying to figure out exactly, who did and why. So one of the first people that Lara meets is a friend of Von Croy's who works at the Louvre Gallery, and she gives Lara Croft Von Croy's notebook, which contains information on the sorts of people he was dealing with shortly prior to his death, and this gives Lara sufficient evidence to go after some of the suspected killers. Nevertheless, she finds herself wondering if she didn't have something to do with the death of her mentor. It's kind of an unusual storyline for the game, and it really takes some pretty surprising and interesting twists. I can say without spoiling anything that the subtitle of the game does indeed have significance to what the game is all about. And over the course of the game, Lara will meet up with and have conversations with a number of interesting characters as she tries to get to the bottom of this mystery. There's even a new playable character that you'll get to control through some portions of the game, and his name is Curtis Trent. He's sort of the male equivalent to Lara Croft, but he's got kind of some fancy abilities that would even make Lara jealous. As in previous Tomb Raider games, Lara's main abilities consist of jumping and climbing stuff. She can jump and grab onto ledges and pull herself up. She can shimmy side to side, all kinds of stuff like that. She's as lithe and agile as ever, only now there is like a grip meter, so she can't hold on to something forever. You sometimes have only a very limited amount of time to cross a gap, hand over hand or something like that, before Lara simply loses her grip and falls. It's easy to die in Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness. One false step and you fall into a bottomless pit or something like that. This is very much par for the course for the Tomb Raider series, so the game isn't advisable to those who are easily frustrated. This is a trial and error type of game. Of course, Lara can also shoot. She doesn't have her unlimited ammo dual pistols here, though, and she doesn't even start with a gun. She gets one pretty early on, however, and although you'll need to watch your ammunition, you could still, auto-target any foes in the area and just open up on them, starting with a pistol, and later on you get shotguns and submachine guns, things like that. Lara is actually really strong compared to most of her enemies, and they don't make much trouble for her when it comes to deadly encounters. The deadliest encounters are certainly with the game's environments, with the bottomless pits and the spike traps and spinning blades and the wonderful stuff like that. Lara's got some new moves as well. She can go into a stealth mode and creep up on enemies when they've got their backs turned, and then quickly take them out with sort of a stealth kill move. This isn't necessarily invaluable because, again, Lara can just as easily gun people down face to face. Lara also grows in strength over the course of the game. It's almost like a role-playing element. As she, pushes boxes or makes big leaps and stuff, every now and then she'll comment on how she's gotten stronger or how her legs have gotten stronger. This means that you'll now be able to jump further than before or move an object that you previously couldn't. It's really there just to kind of keep you along the path and prevent you from making certain types of jumps until you're ready. It also makes it so that you have to, constantly be coming to grips with the controls of the game, knowing exactly how far Lara's going to jump, stuff like that. It's certainly an element that adds a lot of challenge and difficulty to the game. Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness is available for both the PlayStation 2 and PC. It's exclusively available to those two platforms. The PC version can look a lot better than the PS2 version if you have high-end hardware. The loading times are also faster on the PC, and actually the keyboard controls that are default on the PC can be used with more precision than the analog controls on the PS2. The PS2 controls can often lead to missteps and nasty falls, whereas on the PC you can kind of fine-tune your moves a little bit better. Still, the controls on both versions will take some time to get used to, really, and the actual content of the game is identical for both the PC and the PS2. Lara will get to see and do a lot over the course of her adventure. She'll start off in the Parisian ghettos and things like that, and move on to kind of infiltrating the Louvre to find out what exactly Werner von Croy was after and what he was investigating before he died. You'll find yourself in these long-forgotten ancient locations as your journey kind of takes you to the heart of the matter. You'll find yourself up against a rather nefarious villain who's at the head of this secret society that's been around for millennia, really, and basically, this really is a pretty exciting adventure when you look at it from just the storyline point of view. It's too bad you might sometimes get hung up on particular jumps or particular gameplay elements, but if you stick with it, Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness can have some pretty exciting moments in store for you. So hopefully I've given you a good sense of what to expect from this game, what to look forward to, as well as some of the difficulties that you'll encounter. And to learn more, you'll just have to play the game for yourself.